EverlynnMafia is back online with another video. This request goes out to Geminisnow, who has not heard of Monster Hunter and would want to see a video before purchasing. So I'm gonna play a brief low rank hunter who you all know, Willow Everlynn. Gonna play a few battles, hunt down a few monsters, and show him the basis of Monster Hunter, and see if he'll enjoy it himself. Now I do admit this isn't a fair viewing, as when you first play the game, there is an hour intro, a lot of CGI, a lot of tutorial, but once you progress far enough in the game, there's a certain point where it teaches you how to signal for help and join online games. Once you get past that point, it's not too difficult to join others' adventures or quests. This is quite a bit after it, but it'll give you a fair idea of what to expect in this game. Now, it's a blend between RPG and action-adventure. There are stats and numbers to figure out. You have armor that has certain score points. Of course, higher armor means better defense. You have
that
weapons.
Troublemaker is going to make even more trouble if we don't get out there and investigate.
And then you have her, who's very, very annoying. But she is your handler. And as you progress in the game, you get a sweet pet called a Poogie. This is Mr. Piggles. Hello, Mr. Piggles. You pet him for luck. Also, the more love you have for your pet Poogie, the more stuff he can help you find. So by picking him up, I'm going to wander around and see if I can find something. I guess today Mr. Piggles is not interested in finding anything today. Rest well, Mr. Piggles. Let's see. What cute outfits do I have for you? Not wintertime. New Year's. The Apprentice. The Fuzzy Bee. His original costume. Hog and a frog. Or white jammies. You're going to be a hog and a frog. Good night, Mr. Piggles. Also, as you progress in the game, there are bounty boards.
How you doing?
I'm doing good today. Seems I completed a few quests. Well, in your bounties, you can choose different tasks to complete in between your adventures. Some of these will grant you rewards such as research points and armor spheres. Armor spheres help improve your armor. You want to collect as many of those as you possibly can. There's also some critical bounties. This will help expand your gameplay. Anywhere from creating new spawn points, tools, items. And as you complete them, they have their own unique rewards. Then you have limited bounties. Those happen every 24 hours. As you can see, I have to hunt 3 specific brute wyverns, slay a Kirin, which is a very evil unicorn, and I'm too low ranked to know what this is. Then you have your general limited bounties. Once you complete all of them, you get a special gold with variant print and a golden egg, which you can either sell for money or use for special crafting. You can manage investigations. As you complete quests, you'll find special investigations, which are kind of like side quests. They don't involve the story, but they usually have special rewards, anywhere from bronze, gold, and silver. Best one is purple and rainbow. We all remember rainbow from Resident Evil Revelations 2. The better the rewards, the more likely you're going to get special things, like special parts, special trinkets, decorations. But just like the game itself, you know, it's all about hunting and capturing. But the right investigations can earn you more money, but there's also challenges like limited time limits. So look up your investigations and you'll find a variation of different things that will assist you in your experience in Monster Hunter. If it's money you need, look for investigations with high money. If it's certain parts you need, look for better rewards. Always pay attention to the failure conditions. Like this one is pretty decent, but it only allows you to faint one time. So choose your investigations wisely. Complete deliveries are special things. You can use these to regain new spawn points in your map, tools, equipment. But for example, if I can get these materials, I can add additional equipment to my armory. Completing these will either give you cosmetics for your armor, or more than likely give you special items that you can use in order to improve your gameplay. Excuse me for a second. Went brain dead there. Of course, in the trade yard, there's an item shop and other things you can interact with. You can go to a merchant or provision stockpile, pick up items such as healing items, support items.
Hi.
Which you can buy to your pouch, which is your current inventory, or to your box, which is kind of like your armory. And as you see, if you can't make it, you can gather it. So if you don't feel like spending time out in quests, gathering materials, you can purchase them if you have a good amount of money. Saves you the time and effort to craft items. Occasionally you'll find specific items to assist you, like these armor charms. Very expensive, very hard to get. Ammunitions. Yep. Good stuff. Good stuff. Doesn't seem like I need anything at the moment. You have the Elder Melder. This particular person you'll unlock later in the game, but becomes quite useful. You can use her to meld items, so if buying or crafting is not your thing, if you have extra raw material you don't want, you can use them to make points to purchase really hard to get materials or items. Sometimes it's just a wee bit cheaper to do it this route to get harder items that are hard to make, or if maybe you're just running short on certain material and don't feel like grinding for hours, you can just wave away certain items and go at it. As you can see, you can even get certain monster items, but those require quite a bit of points and quite a bit of special items. At some point, you'll advance her enough where you can get her to meld decorations. That'll be a different explanation later on, but that'll help you support on some of other things like skills and whatnot, but I'll get to that later. Then you have your botanical research.
Hey.
Don't feel like gathering in a quest? Farm it. As you can see, I'm cultivating adamant seeds. Why? Because they make armor skin potions. More defense, less likely to die. Well, it seems like I've already fertilized, but you can expand your botanical research center to farm different items, and this will help you eliminate that whole grinding process while out on a quest. Not that I'm saying neglect picking up anything you think might be useful, but hey, every little time saved, a little time not spent on grinding. Alright. That introduces the trade yard, at most. There are some other special things, but that happens on later in the game, so we won't get to those just yet. Then there's your room. You'll eventually be accommodated a room, depending how far you get in the game, and how much you do. In your room, you have your Palico. Mine is Evie, wearing a Halloween costume. And then you have your cat servant. You can talk to him to change decorations. As you notice, add pets. Hello, little bird. Hello, little bunny. Your housekeeper has several functions. At some point in the game, you'll reach far enough where you can hire tail riders. Right now, my guys are out there collecting stuff for me. Another way to collect items. In this process, once you've gone online and made friends with a fellow Monster Hunter player, you and their Palico will become friends, or guild card buddies. When you do that, you'll have the ability to hire your friend's Palico or random Palicos to go on their own adventures. While they go on their own adventures, they'll find different items or fight different creatures, as the little tabs suggest up there. When they've completed the quest, which in 4 quests left, you'll receive items that you can retrieve. This is another way to eliminate that whole grinding process, aka farming. Useful because there's some materials that you can only get through the tail riders. Also have a training area that you can go to practice different weapons. And of course, like I mentioned, pets, or move to a new room if you have additional rooms. It also gives you the ability to claim on add-ons and bonuses that you may earn in the game or purchase through the PlayStation Store. You can even change your handler's outfit. Who's your handler? This wonderful lady. What makes her so adorable? She can be cosmetically changed.
Hey, partner.
Please don't hit on me. Anyway, as you can see, all different type of add-ons and adaptations. And this is just the base of the game. Ah, the big red chest, your item box, your armory. This is where you can manage your items to take on quests. As you can see, I'm a little messy right now. Let's restock some things. Bring a couple traps. A big importance of this game is always prepare for a hunt. Carry healing supplies, support items, traps, because you never know what you'll meet out in the world of Monster Hunter. You can even craft whatever items are in your storage box to make additional items. As you progress through the game, you'll discover different recipes that'll be unlocked. And this will help you make items that can support you, your friends, on your various adventures and quests. Ah, it seems we have the items necessary to make this. Let's see what we can get. Sweet, we made dash juice. Huh, let's make something else. Ah, learn to make ancient potions. As you notice, different items give variable abilities. Very useful stuff to know, especially when you're on your adventures. I always recommend if you can make a few ancient potions, keep one on hand. You never know when you're going to get your butt kicked and you need that extra life. You can even sell some of your extra items or materials. You'll find that you'll have a bunch of extra materials. Ever short on cash? Sell materials. And then you have your decorations. Just be aware, decorations aren't easy to acquire in this game. Usually it's easier during special events, holidays, or when you have certain special quests that offer decorations. Your equipment. Well, you have all sorts of equipment. As you progress through the game, you'll fight monsters. These monsters, you can carve for materials. There are no levels in this game. It's all about your equipment. But the higher rank quests you can participate in, the better the materials you can find. This happens to be a special set, based off the Horizon Dawn series. Monster Hunter does a lot of collaboration stuff, so if you see something unique, pick it up. It's hard to come by, but hey, once you have it, it usually has interesting perks. As you noticed, you have your status. My weapon type reduces my physical damage taken, and that's my current attack. Always pay attention to the sharpness of your weapon. Sharpness is very important. The less you have to sharpen, the longer you can fight. And you have to be careful because certain monsters' hides break down that durability faster. Your affinity is kind of like your critical hit. I have a 10% chance to do critical damage, which is double damage of my weapon. Or tally against the monster's defenses versus my damage. Element. Well, you have the elements and ailments. Right now I'm using poison at 150. Always good to know what you're fighting against. Exploit their weakness. If the creature's weak against poison, take advantage of that. If it's weak against lightning, take advantage of that too. Also pay attention to the fact that a monster may have resistances against certain elements. So pay attention to that. You can still deal base damage, but if they're highly resistant against the element, that extra damage you'll probably lose out on, making the battle a little tougher. And below you see your defense statuses. You have your total defense points, which is your physical damage you can take. But just like you can deal element damage to monsters, monsters have elemental damage they can deal to you as well. So you have your resistances. The higher your resistance is, the less likely you'll take from elemental damage. So right now I'm at 5, which is pretty low, but decent. But remember, the higher the value of your resistance is, the less likely you're going to take from that elemental damage. Tally that up with your physical defense, and you know, monster attacks will be a lot less painful. So keep that in mind. You also have skill info. A certain combination of equipment will give you special abilities. You want to keep that in mind, as different pieces of armor will give you different abilities. Then you have your other skill info. So each armor piece has a unique set of skills. Combinations of different armors or armor sets will give you different bonuses. As you notice, having the full set here grants me the armor set ability Engine Off Will, which temporarily reduces stamina depletion when health is at 40% or lower. Aside from that, it gives me different various skills that allow me to improve my gameplay. Remember, the way you play in Monster Hunter is all dependent on your armor and your skills and your weapons. So find out which armor pieces and which skills match your playstyle, and you'll excel very well in this game. But if you're like me, who likes to collect everything, well, give it a shot. I won't sit and explain each skill, but various skills have various abilities, and like I said, depending on how you mix and match, will change up your playstyle. So find which skills best appropriate your playstyle, and like I said before, you'll excel in this game pretty well. Oh, I'm so silly, my apologies. You even have all the various weapons you make. Like I said, different weapons, different abilities, different playstyles. I highly recommend first-time players to either mess around with the short sword, small shield, small sword, easy to maneuver, gives you a good feel of how to use melee. And then you have the crossbow gun, the heavy crossbow gun, and the bow and arrow. I recommend for first-time players, play with the bow and arrow. Infinite ammo gives you an idea how to play with range. You have various different weapons, such as the glives, which require a little more skill and tactic. Big weapons, like, the Proto-Commission Axe Blade, or the Charge Blade. Then you have switchblades. Well, think of them like transforming great swords and great axes. Spears or lances. Gun lances, which give you a good moderate attack of melee and mid-range. Katanas, if you're into quick furies of attacks, but do pay close attention to the fact that you can't guard with katanas, so you'll have to really rely on dodging. Similarly, dual blading, you can't defend, but you can dodge, and you can get faster with special techniques based on these dual blade weapons. The hunting horn is one of the few items that anyone hardly plays, but if you like playing support and you like combinational music, a good support item, a good weapon. The hammer. Big, clunky, heavy, but deals massive amount of damage. Not everyone's favorite, but hey, if you can time the attacks right, you can stun and knock out monsters pretty easily. And last but not least, the great sword. This weapon you can defend with, but it does reduce the sharpness of the weapon quickly. Heavy attacks with agile maneuvering. You're very slow while walking, so you have to really rely on blocking and dodging. And that's just a brief explanation of some of the equipment. I won't go into further details, as that'll require a little more time than I have. Then you have your charms. You can make charms, acquire charms, but charms also have their own set of skills. In combination with your armor and your weapons, gives you more playability. So find the right, again, playstyle, equip the right equipment, and you'll find yourself a bit more durable or survive a little longer in Monster Hunter. Then you have your specialty equipment. Currently right now I only have one access slot, but you can get another later on in the game. Your special equipment all have special effects and abilities. I prefer, for those who don't like getting beat around too much, to use the Vitality Mantle when you can acquire it. It negates a fixed amount of damage, after which the effect expires. Kind of useful, especially if you're not too prone to dodging. You will find other things like a Ghillie Mantle or a Glider Mantle. Each have different effects, so expanding your armory or your equipment info is very important. Remember the research center? Research and development? Well, complete a lot of those and you'll get more equipment. And then you can use whatever you have in your equipment slots to improve your gameplay or support your friends. Alright. Decorations. Let's see. Seems I haven't slotted any decorations yet. Oh, well, this is a good opportunity. Rightio. So let's take the time to explain decorations. As you progress in the game, you'll find that armors will have decoration slots. And you'll acquire decorations. Think of them like jewelry that you attach to the armor. Now, how this works is each decoration slot has a number of gem fittings, which you see below the gem. So if you have, like this one here, a slot 3, any slot 1, 2, or 3 below that can be fit into the socket. This socket 1 decoration can only fit a slot 1 decoration, which are these tiny fellows over here on the right side of the screen. You can see how their little crowns in the bottom tell you how many slots they will fill. And as you notice, these also explain the skills that you're being granted by slotting them. And of course, the more you have of that skill, the higher the level, the higher the ability. So, in combination with your armor and decorations, you can improve your character's skill abilities fairly well. This is highly recommended, mostly for the fact that the better the abilities, better your survivability. And again, use things that will improve your playstyle. I can't stress that enough. Not everybody can play a tank or a front guard or a range person, but like I said, mess with weapons and armor and skills and see what best suits you. Oh, ready? As you notice, I'm using a poison weapon. This venom jewel will help build up the poison buildup and deal a little extra damage. You see on the left, on my right hand side under status, you'll see my element. My base was 150, but by putting in this jewel, the decoration will enhance it by 20 points. So let's go do that. Alright. Things are looking rather awesome. Now, sometimes you'll have armors that already have certain items equipped. Or, delay my last. You'll have certain items that already have jewels equipped. You can take those from those items and resocket them to other armors and weapons free of cost. There's no charge. There we go. Now you have sell equipment. At any given time, let's say there's an armor or a weapon you really didn't like. There's two things you can do. You can go back to the workshop and smelt it down to a previous model, and maybe you'll get lucky enough to change it to a different tree, which I'll explain later. Or you can sell your gear for some cash back. Oh, before I forget, in your equipment, you can press your option buttons and create a loadout. This makes it easier for you to prepare yourself for certain hunts. Let's say you're fighting a monster that's weak against fire, but deals lightning damage. You can create an armor set to fight that specific monster and register your loadout in your different slots. This will make hunting a little quicker. That way friends aren't waiting on you while you bedabble in the change equipment section. But since this is a new armor loadout, we're going to save equipment to loadout on this empty slot, just for future's sake. Isn't that great? Now we have that set up for future use without hesitation. Radio. I guess last thing to explain is change appearance. You can change the appearance of your armor and clothing. Oh, belay my last. You can change the appearance of your character. So if you don't like the style of your character, you can always change their animation. You first get introduced to this at the beginning of the game, but no worries. We won't mess with that today, but at least if you decide you want to change the appearance of your character, you can do so from here. Which, now my character's gone invisible. There we go. Radio. I think that's enough of that. Let's head back out.
Well, that troublemaker is gonna make even more trouble if we don't get out there and investigate.
Yeah, you'll have to deal with her. She'll continuously remind you of all the quests and adventures you need to complete. But you can choose to ignore her. I do. Too bad there isn't a silent handler mode. But this is the town of Astera. Are there other towns? So far, no. Ah, icons. Seems we have somebody requesting something. Yellow exclamations means that someone may offer you a quest. The red cross indicates that you can go on an online board and see if you can help other players or participate and join in other quests. The armory lady has a question for me.
Well done.
See? By completing certain special requests or features in a quest, you can acquire additional equipment in your armory. She gave me the cleanser booster. Now I have an additional item in my armory. Here, you'll find the second fleet master. He has a lot to always say. But here you can forge equipment from the materials you've gathered against monsters. You can build full armor sets, which, as you can see, require quite a bit of ingredients. You can build charms, armors, which you acquired materials for. It's not quite yet, huh? And of course, weapons. As you can see, you have 14 different types of weapons. So finding which weapon best suits you is remarkably important. Since I favor the sword and shield, let's see what we can make. As you notice, each weapon has a tree. These trees, depending on the materials you have different progressions. The higher the progression, the better the weapon. It also has, my apologies, a rarity. The higher the rarity, the better the weapon, but the harder the materials you need in order to improve and make it to that level. Keep in mind, as you progress through these trees, once you get to a certain branch, it's difficult to go back. But don't worry, if you feel like you missed something or you want to try something else, you can always start from the beginning and build back up to where you want to go. Just remember, it does require money and materials to make these things. You can also compare your current equipment with what you want to make with L3. And then you compare the differences and see which is better. Now mind you, when you first start, it won't be as expansive as this. But as you progress in the game, you will see a lot more choices. So I can't highly stress that participation and progression is very important. But don't worry, as soon as you get to Hunter rank 8 or 12, you'll start being able to join with friends online. I know, you're saying, wow, that seems pretty far, Mafia. But it's not that difficult. The single player stories don't push too hard, and they don't take a lot of time. Most Monster Hunter quests can be done anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes. The longest can be an hour. That's only if you take your time. Once you get a feel for the game, you know, you can pretty much beat these in pretty short shots. And of course there's upgrading your equipment. Once you make the equipment, you can upgrade it to different levels, like I said previously. You can also create equipment for your Palico. Your little kitty assistant stays with you while you're playing solo. So don't have any friends online, you can always play with your kitty cat. Ain't she adorable? And just like your own armor, your Palico's equipment also tells you their defense and their abilities. So while you're playing solo play, don't forget your Palico's equipment. It's kind of important, as they'll be assisting you through your adventures. Ooh, scary kitty. Right. They too also have full armor sets. You can also customize your bow guns with different attachments. I won't get into too much details about that, but once you have a crossbow gun, check out Customized Bow Gun. You can tweak deviation, recoil, and various effects that work on ranged weapons. Manage kinsects. Remember the glaive? Well, when you wield that weapon, you get a kinsect, a little guy that helps sap different powers from monsters. You can, just like a weapon, nurture a kinsect and create one, change its element, or you can purchase one outright if you don't feel like nurturing it and building it up. And just like your equipment, you can set your decorations. And you can even change your current equipment and match it with other things you may be purchasing, just to see differences. That completes the smithy. Now let's see. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Talking to random people may assist you. If they stop to talk to you, they may have something important to say. Some medicines will boost your health beyond its normal limits, like nutrients and max potions. That's good information, because when you make those items, the more health you have, more likely you're going to survive a quest. Now, I can't use layer armor with this current armor set, but layer armor is armor that is more cosmetic. Maybe you don't like the appearance of your armor, but purchasing or making different layer armors will allow you to change your appearance to the way you like it, if you're into that kind of customizability. And as you notice, day and night changes constantly in this world. Keep in mind, participating in quests, day or night, does change the approach of different monsters. So if you know a monster is more active during the night, try to participate at nighttime. Or if you want to take the vulnerability of a sleeping monster, beat him up while it's at night. It looks like the handler still has a quest for us. Over here is your cantina. You can buy a meal here. I'll explain that here in a little bit. Right next to the cantina is the gathering hub. This is where we're heading to. And while you load, it does give you a few tips. Kind of useful to pay attention to, especially your first time playing around. Alright, welcome to the Gathering Hub. It serves not only as an alternate place to do alternate quests, but if you wish to create a guild, you can make a squad counter. Or, make a squad counter. Speak to the event manager at the squad counter.
Welcome, welcome.
You can create a squad, disband it, and manage it. Since I already have one of my other character, I won't create one, but you can create your own squad and invite people online or your friends to join your squad. There are a few perks such as unity points which will assist you and your friends in getting better rewards. So having quite a few members helps improve your partnership. As your unity points work together, you're more than likely going to receive better rewards in quests. But that's only if you're into that type of thing. Here at this quest counter, the lady on the right, the hub lass, is just like your handler. However, she will introduce to you
Hello.
a few more interesting things. You can join a quest online and participate with others if you have that ability. When you first start out, this won't be readily available to you. You can also join online sessions. For example, another player's session, your friends, or your squad. So, as we post a new quest, you'll notice that you have your assigned quests, which is the main story plot. Then you have your optional quests, which are your side stories. These don't have CGI cutscenes, so these are the greatest ones to use with friends. Then you have investigations. No cutscenes, special requirements, usually great to do with friends. Then there are events. Weekly, Monster Hunter tries to do various events or special occasions. These events will have certain parameters, difficulties, and as you can see, you'll need to be a certain hunter rank to participate in them. Event quests usually have great rewards, great money, but are often really challenging. You may want to participate with a friend if you don't feel confident enough to do this on your own. Then there are special assignments, which I can't highlight right now, but special assignments are quests that are very difficult. You usually have very unique items or equipment, so completing these are, I don't want to say integral, but will make your gameplay a lot easier if you can get them early. These I highly recommend to do with friends or people online, as they're often very challenging and not easy to do alone. And we'll get back to the hub blast here in a little bit. Your arena lass is a different type of quest giver. Here, at the arena counter, you can participate in arena challenges. They're usually one-on-one monsters with you, but instead of using your equipment, you're given set equipment. As you notice where available weapons is at on the bottom, underneath the symbol of the monster, you'll see which weapons are readily available for this particular challenge. Now, as you noticed, it'll be their equipment, not yours. So these type of quests offer a bit of a challenge. If you do manage to complete them, you do receive special arena coins. This will make workshop equipment. Workshop equipment varies in ability, but can be quite useful compared to regular equipment. But it's up to you to participate in these. I usually don't because they're very time consuming. But if you're into these type of things and like a challenge, go for it. Speaking of challenges, you have some unique ones. Well, apparently I can't participate in this one. But here, you can challenge yourself with even more difficult arena battles. And with completing these, you can acquire special armors, weapons, equipment, or items that you often can't get in quests. So it's up to you if you want to take advantage of these. But like I said, always better with a friend. Now, just like the stockpile merchant back in the trade yard, you have the hub provisionist. She's like the merchant.
It's so good to see you.
If you don't feel like running all the way back to the trade yard, you can talk to her and buy provisions, either to your pouch or to your box, or you can sell items. So conveniently, the gathering hub is very convenient. Everything is here for you, your quest givers, merchant, and its own cantina. Now to explain the cantina. You can purchase your meal with money, points, or a voucher. Now, using a voucher will not only improve your meal for you, but for anybody else in the gathering hub or your squad. These are highly recommended if you're expecting to go on difficult quests. If you don't have the money, I say always pay with points. Points are usually cheaper, but it depends which currency you have most of at the current time. As you can see, in the little faded yellow, there are specialty platters that you can purchase. Here you can see the meal effects. Hunter will receive plus 30 health, plus 25 stamina by purchasing this meal. Your Palico will receive plus 12 health. As you notice, different colors on the symbols determine the type of food skills you can receive. On top of your armor skills, your charms, your weapons, you can receive food skills that also improve your gameplay. I highly recommend learning all the different food skills to see which best suits you. You're like, hey Mafia, how do I know what food skills do? Well, if you press the center PlayStation button, it'll tell you with the current food skills you have and what they'll give you. Feline Polisher often speeds up sharpening time. That can be useful, especially when you need to sharpen your weapon. Feline Carver sometimes increases the number of times you can carve, and Feline Boost temporarily increases attack and defense at the start of the quest. Not bad stats, to be honest. For beginners, I highly recommend taking up these type of dishes, as it kind of gives you a brief explanation and an easy way to find all the things that you want. Or, if you like, I personally like custom platter. See what I can create on my own. Combining multiples of each color does give you the ability to get better food skills. I'm just going to show an example. We know that 2 give me feline polisher, but if I do 4, I now get feline rider, which makes it easier to mount monsters. Here on this page you can see all the different food skills based on their color, which gives you an idea of what you may want while participating in a quest. Another important thing, do not forget the little green fresh symbol on some of these icons will sparkle green. This is important. My current health is at 0. But if you highlight one of these, I receive a plus 10. And if I do this again on another symbol, I receive another plus 10. This will increase my health. As it's already difficult to find items that improve health as a young starting hunter, you may want to take advantage of these. And as you see, as you do different combinations, you'll receive different benefits and bonuses. So keep a close eye. Oh, I almost forgot. When you combine different ingredients, such as meat, fish, or vegetables, 2 things of meat will give you a small attack boost. 2 things of fish will give you a small defense boost. Adding 2 vegetables gives you a small boost in resistance. If you double up on meat and do 4, that'll be medium. If you do 6, that'll be large. So consider that as well. Sometimes skills are great, but having an extra boost to kick a monster's butt or to take less damage may be beneficial. So I think I'm going to go with the fish platter, just for the bonuses. Alright, we've eaten our pre-hunt meal. Let's go on a quest. Or rather, instead of participating in a quest, maybe you want to do an expedition. There's 2 ways to play. If you really don't feel like questing and having a time limit, you can go on an expedition. On an expedition, there's no time limit. You can die numerous times, but the monsters are free roaming, which means they'll stay on the map for as long as possible, but they may flee the scene or simply stay on the map. On expeditions, gathering points or places where you pick up items will respawn over time. So if you don't feel like participating in quests and having time restraints, this is the best time to farm, is during an expedition. I think for now, maybe we may not do an expedition, as we don't want to make this video too long. And I may have forgotten to make a shout out for my man Geminisnow, who requested this. So let's go participate in a quest.
How's the hunting?
Oh, it's great. I'm going to show a friend how this game works. Let's go do an investigation. Nothing too hard, nothing too simple. Let's not do something easy either. Huh. 15 minutes. Wow. So many choices. Well, won't be the prettiest stage, but hey, it's a desert. Nothing's pretty about a desert. Well, in its own beauty, maybe. So I chose to fight a creature called Juratados, a giant fish creature. As you progress in the game, you can press options and check your hunter notes. As you fight monsters, you'll gain map info, a monster's field guide, and weapon controls. Let's go to the monster field guide. As you see, each research level has a certain number to it. The higher the level, the more you know about a monster. The more you know of a monster, the better you can take care of it, such as learning its physiology, which parts are breakable on the body, weak points, elements it may be strong or weak against, or ailments that it may be strong or weak against. Let's check out the Juratados. For now, my character knows that the face is breakable, as well as the tail. It also shows me its fins and back are breakable, but I haven't done these yet. This creature's a little tricky. It seems, in parentheses, when it's covered in mud, fire is useless against it, which are the red X's. Otherwise, fire deals 1 star. When it has mud on it, water is highly effective, but when it doesn't have mud, it's immune to it. And it seems when there's mud on it, thunder is useless, but when it's exposed, thunder is highly damageable. It seems strong against ice and dragon. Since I'm using a poison weapon, it's an average damage at 2 stars, which isn't bad. I could also use sleep or paralysis, or stun. Since I don't have a stun weapon or a paralysis weapon yet, and I do have a poison weapon, we'll stick with that. That's one way to take advantage of a monster's weakness and weak points. So now it's all up to me to take it down with what I have equipped. And as you complete certain quests and do more research, you'll find that breaking certain pieces will drop certain materials. You can take advantage of this if you're looking for a certain piece of material to improve or make equipment, such as armor and weapons. You can even see what you can get from cards or rewards at the end of a quest. I highly recommend whenever you perform in a quest, if you can get trank bombs, trap tools, and shock traps or pit traps, capturing a monster rewards better than killing it, if you have the option. Sometimes you don't, or things go wrong in a quest and you'll just have to outright kill it. But hey, it's up to you to decide what you want to do. Now, this game is not bad solo play, but it's more of a cooperative game. If you have friends to play with this, it makes this game much easier, as then you can apply different tactics and strategies. Well, here we are. Let's check the supply box. Sometimes, during your quests, you'll get free goodies. Collect these, as well, you know, it saves you that whole time of collecting it yourself. Here at the camp, you can go in the tent to change equipment and heal up if you feel things aren't going well in the quest. You can talk to your handler, and she'll give you info about the place, or a random conversation. There's your Palico. Here you can change his equipment or talk to him. There's a generic cantina over here, in case you need to get more food items or another health boost. As dying will remove your current health boost, or over time your health boost will dissipate. But let's venture out, shall we? As you can see, we're in a desert environment. Rather pretty, right? Those little deer things, Kelby, are pandemic life forms. You can kill those for material, or you can harass them. I like to harass them. Particularly because Kelby, the males, which have the big horns, have Kelby horn, which makes great healing items. I know what you're thinking. Mafia, what are you doing? Bam! Sure you can. Yes. This is a Capcom game, and they have a hidden gesture that allows you to do a Shoryuken. Now, albeit, I didn't kill it, but I did break its horn to get an item. Not often easy to do, but hey. Then you have gathering points, such as this herb. I can use these to make potions, or healing items on the fly. You can pick up different items as you see them, but I try to aim for the ones that are useful. Oh, hey, a rabbit. Now, in this game, you can get pets for your room by capturing pandemic life forms. So I'm gonna, oh, I think he's aware of me. Try to get behind his blind spot. I just hit X to crouch, and by slowly moving, I'm stealthing. So I want to get close enough where I won't miss, but I can capture it. Bam! Not only did I get research points, I got a free pet. Awesome sauce. Now, in your adventures, you'll find the train has different things, hidden information, like these little paws and claws tell a story of a nest. Let's see. Is there anything in this nest? Nope, no eggs. You'll find on certain maps or certain quests there'll be special items, research items, such as wyvern eggs, herbivore eggs, bones, and you can carry those back to camp. Ah, honey. Oh, question mark. Where? You'll meet special NPCs sometimes in quests. You can talk to them. And they'll sometimes give you, ooh, a max potion. Neat. A free item. Excuse me. Ooh. Sorry for sneezing in the radio. Alright, folks. Let's continue our hunt for the Juratados. Well, we know the Juratados is a water creature. So following water would probably be the best idea to track it down. Ah, a print. You can check prints. Oh, this seems to be a bear-off. A different creature on the map. You'll sometimes find variable monsters along with your quest creature. This can be good and bad. This can be an extra opportunity to collect more material from a different creature, or he may interfere with our hunt. Hopefully he doesn't interfere with our hunt, but hey. So as it goes, equipment uses ore and bones. So if you find bones or ore, it's highly recommended you collect it, as it may improve your chance to making equipment, as well as may unlock specialty items that you may not get. Each environment has its own different set of materials. So, oh, hey, a specialty gathering point. Round cactus. Not a common item, but it is researchable. And these type of items will also expand your cantina. Why expand your cantina? Well, more food choices, better perks. Uh-oh. Not a friendly. And you just got Shoryuken in the face. Ah, boulder bone. Definitely can use some of those. Any more problems? Oh, hey, hi. Ow. It whacked me. Alright, enough of those little guys. As you can see, there are small monsters that will kind of hassle you if you're near their nest or near their vicinity. Uh-oh. Seems we found the bear off. It hasn't seen us yet, so it's best just to retreat for now, because he's not the guy we're after. Remember, if you have the resources and the abilities to expend on fighting another monster, go for it. If you don't, or you really don't feel like being troubled, just avoid the battle. Ah, Nullberry. These are useful. This will prevent status effects such as Blight, which various monsters can use. So collecting a few of those are important. Now that we seem to have found this river, in the distance, our prey. Now, this is going to be a little challenging because we're in its environment. So it has home advantage. And it seems to notice us. Searching. So we're going to try to be as stealthy and quiet as possible to catch it off guard. Now it looks like it's covered in mud, so it might be a little challenging. Now that we're here, put my Vitality Mantle on to reduce damage. And I'm going to sneak up behind it and attack it. Which scares it to cause it to flop out of the water and take advantage of it. Uh-oh. It's mad. Now, as you can see, it has home advantage in the water. I move slow. I'm going to try to stay on land and get on land. Sweet, we've broken something. Alright, it's on land. Now I have the advantage. Remember, it's a monster. It's a large monster, a wyvern. So try not to be underneath them. They tend to squish you. And it's knocked over again. Take advantage when it's knocked over. Especially go after the tail. Uh-oh. Seems to be... No mud for you. Oh! Keeping out of its range. Gone underwater. Uh-oh. Oh! Didn't see that one coming. Got myself uppercutted. Now you can tell, based on the monster's movements, their attacks. Studying their attacks are important, as it'll give you the opportunity to avoid certain damage. Remember, claws, bites, and tail swiping. And body slamming. I gotta get out of the water. Woo! Got fell in its muck, drained my stamina. Ow, and I got hit in the face. I just been water blighted. Thankfully, I picked up Nullberry, which will restore my stamina rather quickly. Yes, I threw a Hadouken at it. It's the one few range attacks that I have. Oh! Alright, can't see. And I'm underneath it, and it's blind. Yay. Oops. Remember, X is your friend. Dodge when you think you're not safe. Uh-oh. It seems I used up my green durability. Now, certain monsters have a certain durability. So at some point, when your sharpness is can do damage to it. So I'm going to stay here and sharpen my weapon real quick so I can wound it. Uh-oh. Got it. Looks like I'm going to have to break it apart again. It's retreating. Oh, by the way, pick up all the research points you can from your monster. This will help your research level against the monster, which will give you the info you need. Now the chase begins. As you see, it's trying to retreat. Don't give it the opportunity to retreat, because they'll try to drink water, eat food, or find some way to restabilize themselves from their battle. You don't want them to have the advantage. Oh hey, a Parasode. Now, some pandemic life can be quite useful. Uh-oh. We have a turf war going on, folks. Baroth and Jurachado seem to not be good friends, but you can take advantage of this as well. If you let them duke it out... Oh, seems I'm still with items. Ah, seems like Baroth took him down for us. This is where we take advantage and beat down the wounded. Or unless he dodges. They also drop rare pieces. Try to pick those up. White pieces are important, but be careful of the attack. Oops. Seems our Baroth is running away from the fight. A little disappointing, but hey. Now, you can mount monsters. As soon as he gets off the top ledge. Stop covering yourself in mud. No. Ha, take that. You're probably wondering, what am I doing? Well, there's some items you can pick up that apply to your slinger. Your slinger is a sub-weapon that allows you to shoot ammo. That ammo can be quite useful, as it gives various effects at long range, or allows you to hit certain objects from a distance. He's dazed and doesn't see me. Oh! Nope. Let's not forget to pick up those shining pieces. Ah, Slinger Thorn ammo. This will stun him. There you go. Alright. Mounted the monster. Now here, you press triangle to stab him. On the left, that white iris is its defensive. Once it breaks, they'll knock over. You can take him down when he's down. Seems our Baroth came back for round 2. Barrow dug him out of the ground for us. Oh, and I fell in mud. Hey, our buddy's leaping away. Once the monster's been wounded, it's time to capture him. Uh-oh. Looks like the Barrow is not going to give us a chance. Web swing. Alright. Let's see if we can be advantageous and get him to fall into a trap. This is the only piece of land. We're going to put a pit trap right here. My Talon Mantle is up. Get my trank bombs ready. You don't get to sleep. Come here. Ah, he fell for the trap. Then you drop a couple trank bombs, and your monster is captured. Now, I made it look easy, but that's just because I have pretty good equipment. Remember, equipment and taking advantage of ailments and elements will make your hunt a lot easier. Rest well, Girotados. I'm making you into fishy sticks. Alright. Only took me 17 minutes to complete that quest. But as you noticed, you get crest rewards, which is usually materials from the monster. And since this was an investigation, you receive special rewards, such as Girotados fin and 3 aqua sacks. Nice. So whenever you have a hard time collecting hard materials, investigations are the way to go. Heck, even my Palico picked up some stuff. Great job, kitty. Now, as you can see on this screen, my reward money is based on how many times I fainted and my party size. So the less time you get defeated and the bigger your party size, or excuse me, the lower your party size, the more cut of money you receive. The bigger the party, the bigger the division. Not to mention research points. Your account items and endemic life points plus monster points will give you research points. Then you can check the records for updates to see that was one of my largest Girotados I've ever fought. Your Palico level and gadget proficiency of my Palico. Currently I'm using the flash fly cage for my Palico so I can stun enemies with their sight. Anyway, let's head on back home.
Well, that troublemaker is gonna make even more trouble if we don't get out there and investigate.
Awesome, the Argosy has returned. It seems I completed a new required material to make a new equipment. Well, before I end this tutorial, I'll explain those two things. Eventually, you'll come to a point where you'll meet the captain. Once you access him, he's like a little shop.
The best stuff.
Here you can purchase goods from the Argosy, which is a merchant ship. If you have the research points, which are a little expensive, you can purchase materials pretty quickly. This is another farming point that's important in the game. This also helps out your inventory on kind of like a bulk size. I'll bet he only comes every so often after 3 quests. I highly recommend to have enough research points to buy from him. You can always choose what goods you want, whether it be material, consumables, or trade-in items. Trade-in items bring in more money. Materials help you build things, and consumables help you make items. So, depending how or where you want to go with this is up to you. Now, check out that Aquamancer. I didn't introduce this earlier, but there's a quick way to travel. You can take a lift and go anywhere in Astera by using it. Now, let's see. Let's see. Oh. I do believe the equipment I wanted was in my wish list. So what's really cool is that I didn't introduce this earlier, and that's my fault. Sometimes when you're looking at your tree, there's a weapon or armor that you really, really want. By going into your wish list, you can tag it, and when you receive the materials to make it, it'll give you a notification say, hey, you can make this item now. As I really wanted to make the Aquamancer, since I don't have a sword and shield weapon that has water abilities, I can now make that item. Oops. Guess I made an error on that one. Let's see. Upgrade equipment. So that was an upgrade. Ah, here we are. As you can see, the little box indicates where I'm currently at in upgrading equipment. And I'm going to go into the water element tree. Awesome. Sure, we'll equip it now. Ah, alright. Seems I can go to Rathian, but I'd rather continue building the Aquamancer. Now, as you can see, I can go either one or two ways. I don't have enough Juratados Fang, so I can't make Aquamancer 3. But I don't have enough Legiana Claw to make the Glacial Grace. Now here's the conundrum. You're now at a bypass in your work tree. If I go Legiana, I can have a frost or ice weapon. Or I can continue on the water tree and keep developing. As you see, question marks. I haven't gotten far enough yet in the game to know what these materials are. So don't worry if you can't go any further. Eventually, as you progress in the game, you'll find out what those materials will be. As I'm looking to make the Glacial Grace set, looks like I'm going to have to work a little harder to fight a creature called Legiana. We'll just add that to my wish list as well. Let's see where that goes. Alrighty. Not bad. Looks good. Well then, this is the introduction and tutorial for my friend Geminisnow. This is Mafia, saying adios, love, peace, and chicken grease.